Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're having a wonderful day. So, what I think what's going to end up happening here is that I'm going to be going over a few things with you, and hopefully I can start earlier on the great old schedule that I have. Anyway, we have some bad news for Disney as they seem to be crumbling down after, all their woke movies, and all good for them because I don't like Disney. However, what I'm seeing here is they may be canceling Disney Plus. It's a movement to cancel it. It seems that it's not doing too great. And what we have here currently from the side of Darling is cancel Disney Plus surge worldwide after streaming services price hike announced. Searches for cancel Disney Plus increased by 510% in just a few hours. It is the biggest spike seen worldwide in the past 7 months. In the latest price range by a major streaming platform, Disney Plus has announced its ad-free plan will increase from $10.99 to $13.99 in the U.S. Now, I remember that in this world, and what Disney Plus is doing is also what Netflix is doing, and I think it's just all due to the economy because the way it's going with the way the economy is going and shit like that. I'm seeing just not good things happening here with all these other businesses because they have to increase the price hike to deal with the raging increasing inflation, and this is obviously Disney's best motive to do so. And as prices rise for each streaming platform and all these other things, people are not going to be buying it, and that's just rational. Let me put this into everybody's perspective as well. It's better to get a platform that kind of has a little bit of everything, if not everything, than having to pay for something that has just a little section of their stuff, right? So the best course of action is that people are going to cancel this just to make ends meet. $13 is a lot, and you have to think of how much that cuts into your time, into your check every month. Maybe $11 or $9 or what have you is not that much if you in the grand scheme of things. But add about $4 or $5 extra dollars, that can really start putting a pain in your check, especially on how inflation is and how everything's going. So it's not. It seems like there is a actual kissing dead plus thing here. We have Disney ends Disney Plus streaming service. New change places Netflix in charge. The destruction of Disney Plus seems to be here, after price hikes have been announced, while content reduction has also taken place. Recently, Disney held their Q3 2023 earnings call. Here we saw that direct-to-consumer sales have increased 9%. That being said, Disney Plus subscribers have dropped to 146.1 million. Disney's goal for Disney Plus subscribers was 154.8 million. So this does now fall short. Disney's core consumers increased by 1%. Regardless, we are testing to see subscribers drop off now that Disney has begun to reduce the amount of content they are able to bring on their audience. The people paying for these services on a month-to-month basis. This is from Disney CEO Bob Iger expressed the following. We have here that direct consumer revenues for the quarter increased 9% to $5.5 billion, and operating as loss decreased to $0.5 billion from a loss of $1.1 billion. The decrease in operating loss was due to a lower loss at a Disney Plus, higher operating income at Hulu, and a lower loss at ESPN Plus. For the improvement at Disney Plus was due to higher subscription revenue and a decrease in marketing costs, partially offset by higher programming and production costs and lower advertising revenue. Higher subscription revenue was attributable to Disney Plus core subscriber growth and increases Disney Plus core retail pricing. The increase in programming and production costs was due to higher costs for non-sports content, partially offset by a decrease in sports programming costs. The decrease in sports programming costs and advertising revenue reflected the comparison to IPL or cricket programming in the prior year quarter, as we did not renew the digital rights at the beginning of the 2023 season. Eager continued to discuss how they have raised prices across Disney Plus prices, and that ad-supported Disney Plus subscription service options have been purchased by 40% of users. Ad-free bundles will also be coming to the U.S. for Disney Plus and Hulu, which will in turn cost more as their current ad-free options do, increasing Disney Plus revenue. Iger also announced that they will be cracking down on password sharing, making it impossible to split the cost of Disney Plus with friends or family. So, I don't know what Disney Plus or Disney is doing in particular, right? I mean, all their movies are failing across the board, right? They're not doing good. And due to this, since Disney's everything is falling across the board, maybe it might be a good idea to not have to hike up prices, because this is also one of the reasons. It's besides the rise in inflation and all of that. Their movies are not doing good. They're not putting enough money, so they have to raise the prices also due to that, because they have to make their money somehow, right? Because all these production costs, regular costs that rise to probably in the high millions, they have to pay for that. So now that they have all these issues and Disney's essentially on fire, they have to raise it. And now the bigger problem is that Disney's not looking to the actual issue that what is it? Netflix is having, right? Netflix, they decided to do the password sharing. And now that we have realized only about, give or take, it's been almost a month since we got the actual reports of Netflix got to see their password sharing when they shut that down. When they shut that down, Netflix seemed to lose a considerable amount of subscribers, right? Like, it was an immense amount of people that left Netflix. And it actually did a lot of damage to it. So, for whatever reason, Disney Plus did not look at that and think like, oh, this is not a good idea. This seems to turn out to be very bad. They're going to also do the password sharing thing as well and not make people share. So if you do stuff like this, which means, a lot of people, such as even people in my family that share this, they're gonna have to pay for it, which means a lot of people are not going to keep this on board. They're going to shut it down. They're going to leave. Like, it's just not going to work, unless you have a family plan or whatever. But but it says, even so, they're making it impossible to put the cost with friends and family. So that being said, it's not going to be a beneficial to anything. Great. Now, I don't think they actually end Disney Plus here, but I do think it would be the end of Disney Plus if you have mostly family, with kids and stuff, that you're watching this stuff, because I don't think family members as much or have Disney Plus for their own ritual need, that this is going to work out into Disney's favor. I think it's most likely going to be a horrible net negative. I think even worse than Netflix, in my opinion. Prior to the announcement of price increases, Disney also removed a lot of their fan favorite content from the Disney Plus streaming app. Instead of adding to it, in less than a year, Disney Plus will be increasing the monthly cost of its ad-free plan $3 to $13.99 in October. Hulu, which owns a majority stake in, will also increase the monthly cost of its ad-free subscription to $3 to $17.99. That's a lot of bloody money. So we have this. Disney Plus reportedly lost a total of 4 million subscribers in Q2 of 2023. This does not bode well for Disney, especially when considering this downward trend that started back in this Q1 earnings report. The streaming platform's huge loss was partially down to the streamers Disney Plus Hotstar offering in India and Southeast Asia losing the Indian Premier IPL rights for the massive cricket nation. Yeah, so if they're already on the downward spiral, guys, and they're going to repeat the same thing that Netflix did, then they're going to continue the downward spiral even more. So I don't see to where Disney Plus actually survives any of this, because if they're going to do the same thing that failed Netflix, and Netflix is not doing well in this respect, then they're going to completely destroy their entire company, their entire Disney Plus streaming service, because hardly anybody's going to use it. That's just the way it is. Previous Disney CFO Christian McCarthy outlined the company's plan, saying, "We are in the process of reviewing the content on our DTC services to align with the strategic changes in our approach to content creation." The comments come as Disney recently canceled projects like National Treasure and Lucasfilm's Willow after one season each. As a result, we will be removing certain content from our streaming platforms and currently expect to take an impairment charge of approximately $1.5 to $1.8 billion, McCarthy said. The charge will not be recorded in our segment results. Will probably be recognized in the third quarter as we complete our review and remove the content. Therefore, Disney Plus is currently in the midst of a historic content purge, which has garnered the attention of fans from around the world. Disney removed more than 50 titles from Disney Plus and Hulu, including dozens of full-length films and series, in an attempt to cut costs. Now, having made it to Q3, we can see that this content disposal campaign has not helped their Disney Plus numbers. CNN commented on the demise of the streaming platform, saying that more than 28% hike in prices means Disney Plus will now cost twice the original price when the service debuted 4 years ago, and Hulu Ad's free tier is now more expensive than the most popular Netflix plan. Now it seems that Disney Plus is joining Paramount, Warner Bros., Discovery, NBCU, and even Netflix, who have all raised prices this year in a drive toward profitability. CNN continued, the announcement puts to an end of much of the initial allure to that led to the popularity of streaming. Now, when Netflix first offered its pioneering service for only $8 a month, millions of people signed up, eager to have access to the company's expensive catalog for just a fraction of the cost of the traditional cable bundle. That served as a genesis of the streaming era, with legacy entertainment companies such as Disney racing to launch their own direct-to-consumer products at a sustainably low cost. Now that is all over. I agree, and I think that this will be the death to most of these streaming services. As CNN, as much I don't like agreeing with CNN in general, right? As we go through this, right, and we're seeing everything in full display here. As we see this, we realize that that a lot of people love the cheap stuff, where you can get a whole view of a lot of material or content for like $8, $6, and there's going to be more pirating. There's going to be more things that are going on that are going to get this stuff for free, or other services that offer things for significantly cheaper, and nobody's going to pay for a service with ads. Okay, so that's not going to go well either. This was going to be a death for these services. It's going to be death for Disney Plus, which means it's going to be worse for Disney, and that's all the more better. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care.